rock me, mama.
Hi. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Rock Me Mama. I'm Amy.
I'm Macy.
And it's good to see ya.
Rock me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Rock me, mama.
Okay, at first I thought you were going to sing, so I was going to like go off of your note to maybe harmonize, and thank God you didn't, because
I think I'm not going to sing anymore, because then once I saw that footage, I was like, oh, maybe I'm annoying. Okay.
No, you're a singer.
I know, but I'm not like really singing it, but I'm
if I had been
annoying.
Like, rock me, then that would have been annoying. But
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What are we talking about today? Okay.
Before we get started, y'all, thank you. We want to just say thanks. We should have said this in episode 1, but we were too excited to
thanks for listening.
Be back. The feedback that we've gotten, the ratings that we've gotten, the amount of downloads.
Besides for one rating, there's one bad.
Somebody gave us a bad rating, but 4.8. Fine.
Whatever. Nobody's looked at it or anything. It's not like we care.
We don't care at all.
We don't care what people think.
We weren't butthurt.
No, but seriously, it's been awesome. But when you do rate us, please give us a review. We really need reviews. We just want to we want to hear your feedback, because we want to know what we can be doing better.
Well, because this is for moms. Like, this is truly we have a blast doing this, but we also want this to feel like a community for moms. Yeah. So if there's
the goal is for it to literally be a mom squad that continues on forever till we die.
Yeah.
I want to be 90. Yeah, I want to be 90 drinking and being like, well, when I was
right. Yeah. Remember when we had 2 young
But we'll just be talking about bullshit. Yeah. I'll be like planning, like talking about ways that you can definitely kill me if I make it to 90, because I do not want to make it. We already
talked about it. We're going to go on a cruise together, and I'm going to push you off.
Yes. Get me nice and drunk. Push me off. Don't alert anyone until I'm good and dead. Don't let anyone save me.
Yeah. We've planned it out. Yes. But thanks. It means a lot. It's been really fun to hear from y'all and hear the feedback. So thank you for listening and downloading.
And it's great to hear that you're not alone in certain things. Like, I've gotten a lot of C-section moms talking to me, and a lot of co-sleeping moms. And it's just awesome to hear that I'm not a freak, and that you're not a freak, and that you guys are relating.
Or if we are, then y'all are too.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all freaks together.
Yeah.
But thanks. We're very grateful and appreciative and excited to have a second season. And so if you like it, show us some
share it with a friend, we want to give it a rating.
Being able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that was long. Thank you. What we're talking about today is disciplining our kids.
Yeah. It's crazy because, I don't know if you were disciplined. I was definitely we got the belt.
Oh, I was disciplined. Yeah.
My dad would.
Spanked. Mm-hmm.
We were spanked. My mom was terrifying.
Timeout.
Yeah. I remember when I got a little bit older, thinking that the belt was kind of funny, because my dad couldn't get it off his pants. And so he would try for a really long time, and it would give me and my brothers ample time to run and hide. And we were like, great one, Dad. And also, it's kind of funny seeing your brothers and sisters' butts.
Oh, yeah.
So
I don't think we didn't. Kyle got the belt, and Kyle got soap in the mouth.
I got lots of soap in the mouth, as you can imagine. As you can imagine. And my dad had he said it was the soap that they used for him. So it was this
Amy's
brown,
first word. She was 2 years old. She's like, fuck.
Yeah. But I was, committed to, I always wanted to be I just wanted to do bad things. I was exactly like my daughter. She stares at me.
I wonder where Farrah.
Yeah, she stares at me when I tell her not to do something. She stares at me and does the thing and smiles. And I'm like, wow, this is me. It's karma.
Yeah.
But I definitely was disciplined, and I was scared of my parents. Not in a way where I thought they would really hurt me, because they didn't abuse me. I will say that. It wasn't abuse. Maybe, I know people think hitting your kid at all is abuse. I don't personally think that. I think sometimes they need a good smack. But I have not hit my kid. She's only 2, but I have not hit her.
Yeah. I've smacked E's hand, but we have not spanked. There's been no actual a punishment.
Me neither. Spanking. I haven't even done a timeout, and it's really, and I'm glad we're doing this episode, because it's really time for me to start figuring out what timeout means.
Yeah.
At 2 years old, when they don't really understand and they don't have impulse control.
Right. Well, I think that what's hard now, so like maybe I'm wrong with this, but I feel like the majority, this may be stupid, so y'all tell me if this is not true, but I feel like the majority of people around our age did get spanked.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, would you say the same, Morg?
But now it's not okay.
Right. And so it's a very scary thing. Like if you are considering spanking, or if you do maybe, then that probably, I don't know, I feel like it's judged. And so where I'm going with this is things are always changing and there's more information.
Yeah.
And gosh, if you're a parent now, I think that there's too much information. Chase and I talk about that all the time, how there's too much information for parents right now.
Absolutely crazy.
And one of those things is, gentle parenting is a thing. And there's all of these phrases that I think encourage the opposite of that. Mm-hmm. And this is not me giving an opinion either way. I'm just stating the facts of what's out there. But it makes it very hard as a parent to decide how you are going to discipline. Yeah. And our kids are at an age where we have to decide what discipline looks like. And are we spanking? Is time out a thing?
Because consistency is key.
Right.
So you have to kind of like pick something and go with it so that they take you seriously.
Right.
The problem that I'm running into right now is that my kid doesn't take me seriously.
Yeah.
I mean,
or they look at you and literally laugh. Or smirk.
She doesn't answer. She doesn't answer me when I speak to her.
Yeah.
She clearly can hear because if I say ice cream, she turns her head and is like, what? But if I say her name over and over, she pretends I'm not talking to her. And she does it all the time to the point where my husband is like, your mother's talking to you. Which is crazy to hear because it's such a thing I heard growing up.
Yeah.
And Nick will be like, Farrah, your mother's talking to you right now. And she'll be like, she'll look at me. So I'm like, you're hearing me.
Yeah.
And I'm her person. I'm her everything. We spend every single day together. And I'm the person she goes to for everything. But when it comes to giving me any kind of respect, and I know this is premature because she's 2, but she doesn't take me seriously.
Yeah.
And it's starting to fucking get old.
Yeah.
I'm getting mad.
Well, I think what's hard is that we've gotten to a point where we do have to kind of make a decision.
Yeah.
Of what that looks like.
Because if we don't discipline them, then they're going to be assholes.
Yeah. Or take advantage of us. Or
you have to at least, and you don't have to hit them.
Right.
You don't have to yell at them.
Yeah.
But they have to have boundaries and they have to have rules.
Yeah.
Or they're going to be fuck ups.
Right.
Kids, you remember those kids that you could smoke pot at their house with their parents?
Oh, I never smoked pot, but I mean, I have, but I didn't until.
But you know what I mean?
Like 25.
I grew up with kids where like there were certain houses when we were teenagers that you knew that you could go there and like drink.
Yeah.
And their parents would let you, and you could smoke pot and whatever, and their parents were there, and those kids didn't fucking go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ever feel that they had to impress anyone.
Right.
They were not scared of anyone. They were not having to, and I don't think you should have to be scared of your parents, but you should.
I know what you mean
give them
when
respect.
You say that, though. Yeah, it's a respect thing.
And I feel nowadays when I run into kids, even like little kids like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they have no respect for adults. Kids will push you out of the way. Kids will talk shit to you. I was scared of adults. I had manners. And I want my kid to have manners.
Yeah.
She says please and thank you now.
Oh gosh,
which is great.
Oh, anytime any of y'all hand eat anything, I'm like, what do you say? What do you say?
We do the same thing.
Because
she says please and thank you. And I really want her to respect the adults in her life. That doesn't mean listen to everything they say. That doesn't mean follow them into a dark alley.
Yeah.
That means the adults that I have deemed your adults.
Right.
And anyone older than you give them the common respect. And I feel like that's really lacking now.
Yeah.
And I don't want my kid to be one of those asshole kids.
Well, I think a lot of it is I don't know if coining that as gentle, I don't know if that's in the same category as gentle parenting, but a lot of it is rephrasing the things that we say. What's the account that we share about all the time? On Instagram.
Mother the Mother?
The girl with the eyeliner. What's her?
Oh, what's her? The eyeliner.
Crap. Well, anyways, there's an account.
I can only focus on her.
I don't want to throw them under the bus because a lot of the stuff
only
that
focus
they
on her
post,
eyeliner. But yes,
right. I really like
has
most
good
of
stuff.
her stuff. Every once in a while, though, there are things
It's a little too
that I'm like, there's no way.
No.
And it's the rephrasing of like, you know, if you see your kid walk up to another kid and hit them,
yeah.
Instead of saying, I mean, our gut reaction is, don't hit.
Yeah.
And usually with a raised tone of voice.
You grab your kid and you say, we don't do that.
Accounts are saying, don't say don't. Instead you say, and you're not supposed to say, tell them you're sorry. Instead it's, did that hurt you? Are you okay? Or what emotion were you feeling to make you hit him?
No, they're
And
not
I'm like,
adults.
that wouldn't work on me. And
No.
I'm 31.
They're not adults. We're not all therapized.
Yeah.
We're not all people that are just like well-versed in
Right.
appropriateness.
But those are the things that I see and I'm like, are people doing this? Like, are kids listening to this?
That requires so much like emotional regulation and forethought. When your kid is running into the street and
Yeah.
gonna get hit by a car, you grab their fucking arm
Right.
and you rip them back and you say, you don't do that.
Right.
You don't say, come here.
Right,
Let's talk about
Right.
what you should have done. No, you are going to
and the
fucking
thing
die. Get out of the street and do not do that again.
The thing that people do is instead of saying can't and don't, it's streets are for driving, not running into. I'm like, that's not the time to do
And that might be an afterthought. Maybe you go, maybe you bring them back and you say, listen, mommy didn't want to get mad at you, but you were in danger. Mm-hmm. And you have
That's
got
one thing
to think
that I have been, I don't recall hearing sorry growing up. And I grew up in a house,
It was no, because I said so.
a yelling household. Like it was an immediate, like.
Me too.
Yeah. And so that is my natural reaction.
Yeah.
When I have to choose not to yell at
Yeah.
Eli. I truly, and I don't like to admit that, but I have to choose not to.
Same.
It's an active thought. My gut reaction, if he does anything, is to be like, I told you not to, or don't do that. And I'm very good at making sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I slip up. I'm not perfect, but I've totally forgot what I was going with that. Yo, I was so.
That's called mom brain, you guys. It's an epidemic.
I was so passionately telling that story, and I don't know where I was going with it.
So
You didn't hear sorry a lot?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Thank you so much, Producer Morg. We were just kind of change the subject. I didn't hear sorry that I recall.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So that has been one thing that I have said to E from him being weeks old. Like
Yeah.
if I lost my cool, I
you
made
say sorry.
damn sure to bend over, make eye contact with him and say, hey, mommy lost her cool. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I lost my cool because I was frustrated. That doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes mommy gets frustrated.
Yeah.
I always name the emotion that I was feeling,
Same.
why I did that, and then I say sorry.
Yep. And that's
I-
the same thing when they see you mad or sad or
Yes.
because now she's starting to come up to me and say, "Mommy's sad."
Same. That
Because
kills me.
I've cried in front of her, not because I want to, but because I was
human.
that overwhelmed that I just started hysterically crying in front of her one day when she was, to be fair, yelling in my face the entire day, pulling at me, and she hadn't given me a break, and I literally bent over and I was just crying into my hands.
Yeah.
And she walked over and she said, "Mommy's sad." And there were tears running to my face. And I said, "Mommy's sad.
Yeah.
Mommy gets sad.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Mommy
Yeah.
gets sad sometimes." And she said, "Mommy's sad."
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'll have a moment and she says, "Mommy very happy."
Aww.
And I said, "Mommy is very happy."
That's sweet.
You know, and like those moments you realize we're at a pinnacle moment.
Mm-hmm.
We are raising people that are understanding
Yeah.
and seeing and receiving what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's coming at this age. Before that, you kind of could do and say
Right.
things and they wouldn't know. She's repeating everything I say.
Everything.
And she feels my energy.
Yep.
So you have to be very careful.
Yep.
I will say, I do believe that, you know, if you need to grab your kid or spank your kid, that's a choice that you need to make.
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever abuse your kid. I personally haven't hit my kid yet. I want to wring her little fucking neck every day. Every day I think about taking her little neck. No, but I do. Like I really, she pushes me to the limit. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I won't. I can't say.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I don't know if she's going to push me there. I'm really trying not to show her that that's the way you handle your anger.
Yes.
Because I don't think hitting helps.
Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Some kids need it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's everything. I will say that everything I've ever said I'm not going to do as a parent, I've done.
For sure.
So I'll probably be beating her tomorrow. But like, I don't want to hit her. I want to show her that there are other ways.
Yeah.
But that being said, I will grab her if she's hitting someone. I will grab her if she's about to touch the stove.
Well, I think grabbing is different than spanking, because grabbing is showing like, hey, this is serious. Yeah. Like this is like if
and I will forcefully put her in a corner and be like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually struck her. And I don't know that I would be okay if my husband did.
Yeah.
So I think that I have to
I don't think
abide
by
by those.
Nick would be able to.
I don't know. I don't think he would either, but he's less patient than me.
If he does come,
he would
my
never.
Dad
I don't think he would ever
Kyle
do it because I think he would be scared of me.
Oh, that's fair.
I think Nick would be scared to spank her because of me.
Probably.
Yeah.
I was going to say though, I remember because we got spanked, my dad would spank Kyle and he literally would go with me. And I brought it up with him since then. And he'd be like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe Nick would, I don't know.
You know, gender is such a different thing now. It's a whole other ball game than it was when we were growing up. When we were growing up, it was boys and girls.
Yeah.
Now it's different. And also women have fought for so many years to be equals. And if you consider yourself a feminist, which I do, you have fought to be equal. And so it's like we do have to kind of hold ourselves accountable to the same rules.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I don't want to be like, he can't spank her, but I can.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking know how to discipline my kid.
I don't either. I know. And I think that that's a scary crossroads to be at because they're smart and they know that and they're testing us.
I know that we have to.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to realize it more and more.
Yeah.
Like, I need to figure it out.
Yeah.
What do we do? And also, can we talk about what the hell a timeout is? How do you put a toddler in a timeout? They're not going to stay.
Well, now all of these people are talking about it's like oh gosh, I don't know if they call it a time in, right?
What the hell is a time in? What is No, but what is a time in?
Camera on producer Maury. I think it's like a spot to like the images that I've
so you hold them and stare in their eyes
and talk to them and love them.
That or
And separating them from you because they did something bad.
Yes.
Oh.
Which like okay.
Does it make sense? I guess. I don't know.
I've also seen things that a time in is like they have like an emotions corner. And
do people have kids that stay in corners?
I don't know.
I've never put Farrah anywhere that she's stayed.
But apparently there's like it says like angry, upset, and all these things, and the kid's supposed to like talk through all of those.
Well, what
this is from like an Instagram post and one of those pages that probably like has
Instagram.
Their PB&J's cut in star shape, you know,
yeah.
But I mean, I've seen that stuff too, and I'm like, are we supposed to?
I was talking to my mother-in-law today because she was like, you know, like because she's seen this week that, you know, as amazing as my child is, she's tough and she doesn't listen to me. And she was like, you know, this is the age that you can start doing timeouts. And I was like, Tracy, what does that mean?
Yeah.
She's like, well, you like put them in a seat. And I was like, what seat is a toddler going to sit in?
But I think that's where timeouts get real dicey because in order to keep a toddler seated, you have to keep going, no, sit here. No. And you have to keep redirecting and forcing. I mean, right? Isn't that the only way that
tying
that would
them
work?
down. I can't change my kid's diaper without tackling her.
That's the only way in my head that would work is like they'd keep getting up and you have to like physically.
Well, then I was like, well, what about like her crib? But you're not supposed to do it in their bed because you're not supposed to put a negative connotation on their bed, right? Okay.
especially Farrah.
So what? Yeah.
Let's
especially
keep that
when she
girl in
already
there as long as she can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like a pack and play? Like, do I bring a pack and play into the living room and be like,
know.
go in there? She'll be like, I'm going to climb out of this,
Yeah.
Mom. This
I don't
is
know.
very easy.
I haven't considered timeout.
Oh, I
Actually.
started considering it this week because I've realized that I have absolutely no control over my child.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be a person to say that. And when you don't have kids, it is so easy to look at parents and be like, they don't control their children. You got to get control over your children. And now I'm a parent and I'm like, I can't control my fucking kid.
We were at Dose.
She does
just
whatever the
last
hell
week,
she wants.
and all four of us were, and E was, the section with the soft seats, soft chairs, whatever. That's what Maddie calls them. Like I've always called them that.
Yeah.
So we sat there, which like honestly is the easiest place to sit because
they can run around
Right.
and like get up. Yeah.
And so E's sitting there and I'm like, why it's on me. I'm trying to like eat and E's like not eating. He's like playing with the fork on the table, whatever.
Yeah, of course. Because why would a toddler eat food?
Weird. And so like 10 minutes in, he stands up and moves to the table over here. And I'm very much like, not worth fight. Like this isn't a battle that I want to fight.
Eat there.
So he's sitting there eating, and then we're about to leave, and he runs back over to one of the chairs to like stand up over it. And at this point, he's kind of like been all over the place. And we're so comfortable at Dose because we're there every day that like I don't think about it. But it probably doesn't look great that we're just letting him like run amok all over this restaurant. And so then we're trying to leave and Chase tries to pull him up and he does the whole like, no, and like gets upset. And it's the whole 2-year-old tantrum thing.
Yeah.
And so we're walking out to the car and Chase was like, God, that was embarrassing. And I was like, what was embarrassing about that? I was like, he's a kid. Like and she was like, no, like we just now, he had control over us. Like we did not have control over him. And I was like, oh yeah. Like,
I
you're right.
absolutely am controlled by my child.
Yeah. And that was the first time where I was like, oof. We are kind of at a stage where like
You have to start taking.
he's kind of running the house, and especially with a newborn, there's so many situations where you're like, is this a battle that I want to pick? Like I don't. And most of the time you're like, and it's not worth it.
I'm really bad. Like I would say that I would say that most people in my life would think that I'm like strong and like in control and confident. That would be the perception, which is not the way I'm running my house. It is the opposite.
Yeah.
I am basically doing whatever it takes to keep her from ruining my life.
Yeah.
So here's a scenario of like today. My sister-in-law and my mother-in-law are in town. And they're amazing. They help with everything. Farrah loves them. She's obsessed with them. You'd think that it would help me to get things done. No, she won't let them.
Yeah.
So during her nap, I decided to work out and I tried to take a shower too. That was my mistake to think I could do both. So I get in the shower. While I'm in the shower, she wakes up from her nap. She's the kind of kid that if I'm not the one that goes to get her from her crib, she flips out. And that includes my husband sometimes. Sometimes she's happy to see him, but other times she's like, where's mommy? And she has a full crying fit until someone finds me. So most of the time I just get her from her nap because I don't want to deal with it. That's a mistake because she needs to learn that other people should pick her up out of her nap. She needs to.
Yeah.
But I don't because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I grab her. So this time my mother-in-law grabs her because I'm in a towel and I'm soaking wet.
Right.
She has a nervous breakdown. I can hear her on the monitor. I can hear her hysterically crying. Tracy brings her down. I'm in my towel. She says, Cinderella, Cinderella. And in my towel with my hair soaking wet, I sit down on the couch with her and put on Cinderella. And I'm imprisoned by her because she wants to lay on me. And all I want to do is brush my hair out and put lotion on my face and put lotion on my body.
Yeah.
And get dressed at some point. Getting dressed can take 2 hours for me because of how many times she will force me to sit back on the couch with her.
Yeah.
So then normally, that's my morning. I will try to brush my teeth 3 or 4 different times before I'm able to.
Yeah.
I will try to make a cup of coffee many times before I'm able to because she wants me to pick her up. And I'm sure I'm saying this, and I'm sure so many moms are listening to this being like, that's my morning too. But I do feel like I am being imprisoned by her sometimes. You know, finally, my mother-in-law was sitting there and she was like, you want to watch Cinderella with Nana? And she's like, no, blah, 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 mommy. And she wanted to sit, and she does this thing where she sits on me and lays on me. That's how she wants to watch TV. Granted, half the time I haven't eaten. I haven't finished doing something I have to do. I haven't checked an email. I haven't done some work that I was working on because they don't want you on your phone.
No.
So I'm sitting there soaking wet, and I'm watching Cinderella for the 45,000th time. And I got like this like feeling of like rage because I was like, I just want to put lotion on my fucking face.
It almost feels like unfair.
I just want to, like, your grandmother's here who you love.
Yeah.
The bathroom's right there.
Yeah.
You can see me doing my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not disappearing.
Right.
And so I put her down and I said, Mommy's going to do her things. And she started crying and she followed me to the bathroom. She was tugging on my towel and I just started doing stuff. And I was like,
yeah.
And she cried the whole time. And it was like, I thought at some point she would just relent, but she didn't.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law was like, she looks at me sometimes. She's like,
yeah.
You know, she went through it, but she doesn't, you know, it's so far.
Right.
Her kids are grown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like, it's just a normal morning. That's just a normal day for me, which is, I guess that's not like that big of a deal. But just to say, like, the things that mothers do all day, moments like that where you can't even pee.
Yeah.
You can't even, like,
you can't do anything.
Finish a task. And it's starting at a little bit over 2 to piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because I know that she is safe, comfortable, fed, warm, watching her favorite show, eating her favorite snack.
Right.
And yet she is holding me captive from doing simple things.
Yeah.
And that's when, and I'm like listening to myself talk, this is when I have to be the person.
Yeah.
That's like, you don't get to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be your doormat. Like, I'm going to go do my thing.
Yeah.
You have to fucking deal. And it's hard for me. I'd rather just appease her.
Well, it is hard, but it's also, for me, moments when needs me, wants me, whatever verb you want to use, wants. I need to stop calling out my mom brain. Work with me. Whatever it is that he's needed, if he's needing, wanting me, and I've got something else to do. It's very hard when he says, Mama, sit.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no to that.
Of course it is.
Even if it is like, for the love of God, like I need to go do one quick thing.
Yeah.
It is hard. And I think that feeling is not like letting them down. I think my head goes to, I don't want him to think that I don't want to be here with him or that something is more important than him. So that's kind of where my head goes.
And you have those moments of like, of course I love these snuggles.
Yeah.
Of course I love you sitting on my lap.
Right. And so then you're like,
this is a beautiful thing, but really I can't just finish fucking brushing my hair.
So I think that we just have to, like, sometimes maybe it is better for us to just sit and be with them and enjoy those moments. But there are other times where it's like, yeah, no, I'm going to go do this.
But I do
and like,
that
you're going to be okay.
Day.
Yeah.
Every morning I'm doing that. You know, it's like, I just want to finish something. Like, I just want to be able to pour my coffee and put my creamer in.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think that you just have to say, and I'm talking to myself too, but I think that you just have to say, like, Mommy has to do this right now. I will be back when I'm done. Or,
and like, you're not going to, like, you're not being neglected or abused because I'm not sitting watching Cinderella with you. I mean, a lot of moms have kids and they just drop them off with someone else and it's like, that's it. They do their thing. And God bless those moms.
Yeah.
You know, I feel guilty for putting the creamer in my coffee when she's crying.
Yeah.
I need to I need to fix something because I am letting my kid run my house. And my husband and I are letting her dictate everything about the house. She runs the house. And it's funny and it's all cute and it's fun and games. It's starting to not be.
Yeah.
It's starting to be where it's like, no, we have to ignore her. If she whines in my face all day and cries and won't let me put her down and all that stuff, that's up to me to break that.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to get to the point where like, I need to break that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I have to do, but I have to do something or it's going to continue. It's not going to get better.
No.
It's my job to teach her to stop doing that.
Right. Well, what you just said though, I think is what it is for a while, it was cute. Like there,
and it's still cute sometimes, but not all the time.
But it starts to not get cute. There was something, I wish that I could remember the exact example, but there was something that E did the other day that, like, what I mean, I wish I could come up with it, but it was very cute. But it has now become a habit that we don't want him doing. Yeah, and I'm sure it was something with TV. He loves, this isn't the example I'm thinking of, but this is actually a good one. He's particular, as most of the kids are, about what movie they want to watch. And we don't love, listen, we have some serious screen time, especially now with a newborn, but I do like to limit it. I would rather him be outside. I would rather him be using his creativity, you know. Yeah. But when it is time for him to sit down and watch a movie, we have let him decide which movie it is. Sometimes we are 13 options in. It's no. And I think that we let that happen.
Yeah, and she does the same thing.
And this is such a small example, but it's so real. And then, 5 minutes have passed. We've gone through every option on Disney, and he says no. And then we finally just pick one, and he throws an absolute.
And you're like, these are champagne problems, my friend.
Right. And so I finally looked at Chase the other day when he did this, and I said, options are done. Yeah. That's it. We're done. If he wants to watch a movie and we say that's okay, we pick a movie. Yeah. We turn it on. And that's if he throws a fit about it, which half of the time he does, then I look at him and I say, you can watch this movie or you can turn the TV off. Yeah. I said, if you want to watch this movie, we'll watch this one. If you don't want to watch this movie, we won't watch TV. Yeah. And those are your options. Yeah. And will he cry? Does he understand? He's not like, okay, yes, ma'am.
No, he cries.
No, he cries. Yeah. But those are your two options. Yeah. Eventually, hopefully, that will sink in.
And I need to do
that
more
example,
of that.
I think, applies to a bunch of other things.
And I'm starting to do more of that. I'm starting to take things out of her hand and be like, and she'll fight me. And I'll be like, no. Yeah. You don't get that. Yeah. You don't have access to all of mommy's expensive, nice things that you break. Yeah. That I used to let you break because I didn't want to deal with your tantrum. Yeah. Now, the answer is no. You don't get to go through all my stuff and break all my stuff. Yeah. Because that's not how this is going to work. Right. And I'm starting to do it more in certain ways and I'm not doing it in other ways. I'm like, because sometimes I'm just too tired to fight her. Mm-hmm. You know, but I am very much at the point with her where I'm going to have to stop smiling when she does something that's bad. Yeah. Even though I do think it's funny. Yeah. And the naughty girl inside of me appreciates and loves the naughty inside of her. And so she does something naughty and I'm like, tee hee hee. Yeah. And you know what? I can't do it anymore. I know. Because it's teaching her that mommy doesn't mean what she says. Yeah. When mommy says no, she smiles. Yeah. And so no means yes. Mm-hmm. And so I really, really have to change that, which is so hard for me. Because I do just appreciate that little naughty little person that she is. Yeah. And I don't want to squash that. But when it comes to certain things, I'm going to have to really stick to my guns. And that's really hard with me. I do think that will get easier, though. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be easier to say no. The more she pisses me off, it's going to get, Because it's going to get less and less cute and less endearing every single time. Because you see other people's kids do it and you're like, that's not cute. That's not funny. No. But when it's your kid, it's cute
everything's funnier and cuter when it's your kid. Yeah, so I think that...
God bless us.
Oh, God, it's so hard. Yeah, if y'all have any tips on
seriously, after this episode, we will be taking tips and tricks.
Seriously,
for disciplining your kid efficiently. We literally don't know.
It's just, it's hard. And then truly, you throw a newborn into the mix, and it's
I
like
can't even imagine.
because half the time I'm like, I don't even care.
Yeah, you're like, do whatever you want. Just let me, like, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I know.
Maybe by next episode we'll have a good discipline trick.
Yeah, we're going to get back to you about that.
Yeah, stay tuned.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Cheers.
Cheers to,
Oh no, we didn't come up with something.
to,
Taking back over our houses.
yes, to taking control of our houses.
Taking control back.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.